Hey guys, what's up? Filippo here. Today's video will be a bit different from the other one I'm gonna upload on this channel normally. Today we're gonna take a clip that looks like this and we're gonna translate it into an image that look like this. So I'm not one of those guys that will say fix it in post. I'm one of those guys that will say to you, take the original image directly from the set and do whatever you can to, make the best possible from it. As you can see from this clip, we're not even close to the best as possible. We got lights in frame, we got things around this place, we got reflections, we got bad illumination, we got tons of things. But your job as a colorist, you should be also VFX, editor. You should work in VFX too, by the way, but our work in post is to fix this messiness. So as I saw this clip, first thing that I said is that we gotta scale this up, we gotta clean some mess around, and then color correcting, make tons of things in dodge and burning and finalize it. So I took this, translated into this image by slowing it down at 40%. This was shot 60p. And right now, as you can see, we have our lights in frame. We got a few things that are not working properly right now. So I will guide you through this and I will let you see how, by having an image like this, you can, do something. I don't know if I've applied the stabilization. No, I didn't stabilize the image, but I made some custom transformation around with keyframes just to make a natural movement, and there we go. By the way, I deactivated the color, but by my IDT and ODT and by my show light it looks like this. I made a really quick look, by the way, and I translate my color space into 𝗟𝗲𝗃. So by the way, what do I want to do now? I'm gonna enter inside my node tree, and I want to focus the attention of my audience into a whole selection of the table and all the things that I actually wanna see. So between my IDT and my show light, I'm gonna create a serial, and I wanna make a really quick selection. So I'll see you after the selection. So here is my selection, and to make it work properly, I also track it in the shot. And you don't want it to be a really incredible selection. You want it to be working with all the edges that we got on our image. We're gonna smooth that out for this method a lot. We're gonna use this selection a lot. And by the way, no matter where you're placing it, let's call it selection, because we're gonna drag it on the whole timeline tons of times. So after that, I'm gonna make a few parallels, and on this parallels, by the way, I want to work selectively on the dodge and burning of my image. And after my show light, I will add a few more parallels just to work on the OFX. And by the way, I want to start with that. I want to start with the main one that will help you, which is the lens blur. And the lens blur, it's pretty good in situation like this because it helps you to, hide some things behind, behind our image, work in a proper way. You can make it custom. You can vignette it a bit, rotate it a bit. You can make, the lens blur you want. It's the most accurate one, in my opinion, when it comes to, fake a lens. And here we go for this one, more edgy like this. There we go. So by dragging my selection right there, I got it inverted, obviously. You'll see that what we're doing right here, just hiding the background just a little bit. What I said about the selection is that right now, just by dragging this kind of selection, you can smooth out a bit the edges by coming here and soft everything a bit on the outside, not that much. And that will be working pretty good if you're just adding a bit of blur. You don't want to fake it a lot, you don't want to go super blur like this, but just a bit of blur. And you're gonna take a look at the edges of the bottle, the edges of the selection, because you want to make it properly and well working. And a bit less on the outside. And really soft. Another thing that will help you a lot on a parallel will be the glow. And I like to use it by hiding it on the same parallel as our selection, as our blur. So let's take just a light, just a meter. And as you can see, just by taking this meter, if you don't know that there is a C-stand on whatever it was here, it won't bother you that much. By the way, I want to push it. And I don't want to, make selection here. I just want to close that up right now, not use it. And just for now, I want to jump back on our dodging burning. So let's call this DB. And let me make just my first thing. And first thing that I'm seeing here is that I want to motivate this light. So if you don't know that it's here, you actually have it hidden behind all those things. By the way, don't look at my selection right now. You can do way better than what I did right here. And what I want to do, I want to motivate it, by the way. So I want to create a shape. And I want to create a shape that will motivate this main light. And by focusing on this, I want to make it even bigger and feather that out and invert it. So by the way, by doing this on this dodging burning, I'll be working just outside this main selection. So I want to drag this midpoint here by watching my scopes a bit down. So as you can see, I'm just dragging down all these outside parts right there. I don't want to exaggerate it, by the way, just a touch down. I want to work, multiple layers and just drag down multiple points to get the job done. And the first one is just working properly and really well. And on the second one, I said that we will have a few OFX right here, but to get the job done, I need to add one specific OFX, a really special one on the dodging burning section that will work in a really great way with the show light and with our look. So the main thing of this video is that I don't want to show you, how I have done the look. It's a really simple look I made here. I just want to let you understand that everything you will be doing in this structure can be done on pre and post group clips, and also you can adapt it on a whole timeline. Okay, so on this one we will add rays, so light rays. Okay, and light rays is great because in a node tree like this one, when we want to hide everything there, you want to pretend to have a bit of light rays coming from this source, and this will motivate even more that light that you're gonna see on the whole image. By the way, it's kind of an effect that on a situation like this will add a lot all the messiness that is right here. It's helping a lot. So the mid good point is, I might say, right here. I want to say a bit of ray, zero soften before and after. And a really special thing that I want to take this selection, drag it here and invert it. And this way I will be applying my OFX just inside this shape, and that's the main thing for this. You can draw the brightness down or up, however you want. I want it a bit brighter. Okay, another thing that I want to do with the main selection is just taking few parts from this, and I want to reselect few parts from this with, let's not make, you can make garbage mask around. Let me just draw a few shape from you and I'll be back in a second. So just let me say that these two are our main products. These are the selection. I track this again and again. As said, if you want to make a proper selection, take your time. If the shot for a client, take the time you need. And for this, one simple thing to enhance a bit the product itself would be not just adding a touch of contrast to our image, but play also with a lower pivot, or better, higher pivot. And just by doing this, just by playing a bit with this, you will be not canceling the highlights, but you'll be, closing the gap between darker and brighter areas. And as you can see, our product, it's a bit more visible. Blacks are blacker, the whites are a bit down. And I also want to crank down a bit our highlights from our can. Okay. By doing those things properly, by the way, you will want to correct this one. You will want to enhance a bit the lift just for this product, fix it a bit. But it is just to let you understand that by doing these really simple technique with contrast and highlights, you can compress a bit the space between these two. By the way, I want to crank up not shadows, but lift. A touch up. Okay, and you can do so many things with them, by the way, just to fix them around. Okay. Another thing, won't be the last on the dodge and burning, will be creating a vignette overhaul that will close everything all together. But this vignette will exclude our light selection, so I will drag light selection also here, and I want to make this going to be inverted. And so I want to work on everything that it's not this ray of light and that it's not our main selection in the center. So actually a smart thing that I can do is just create a key mixer. I can do, so just erase this one. And I can just take this one and this one and just combine it on a unique output like this. Perfect. So we got an even better selection. Let's clean it up a bit. And with this one, we're gonna drag, I wanna do it with the curve. So one of my highs will be, my highs by the way, will be on the scopes. And I wanna see back and forth what it does to my image. Mids right here. Just want to play with that a bit. It's darkening it up a bit, also the corner of our products, but it is fine by the way for this one. You could fix it with another mask, and by the way I want to draw this in a better way, like this. By combining those masks, you just have to be careful a bit. And if you want to add an extra touch right here, you might add another really smooth feather from here. Really, really smooth. Let me see it. Yep. That is combining, by the way, in a really great way. I want to track those. I'm fine with it. And last thing will be an outside node from this one. And into this one, I want to crank up a bit our midtone details from our products. Okay. Before and after. Is giving a bit of juice and just a touch of details right there. So, being honest, we could do tons more things to make this work. We could, draw shapes around and just highlight some areas. And the big thing of dodging burning is like reshaping the light of the whole project. One thing that I don't know we might do is just maybe highlight some part of this knife, some specific products, bring up the colors of some specific parts of the image, create a unique, tons of greens, a unique tons of reds. But the main thing of this will be just creating another kind of image in terms of cinematography, in terms of dodge and burning. That's the main thing. Just look what we've done with few serial, with few parallels, with few masks around. Right now I want to open up my OFX with the glow, and I want to fix it a bit with the threshold. And I want to make it work. You can make it work just with this selection, or by not having this on this corner. But by the way, just by seeing it, I think I'm fine letting it work with the all selection. And then here we got a lens blur. This is still working fine. Just see what it done here. And if you want, you can add another specific let me make another specific glow, and I want to focus to this part right there. So I want to have the threshold really high, and I want to draw a really simple shape, really small and simple shape right there. So let's size this down a lot. And another trick here will be having it well feathered. Yeah, it's doing just a bit. We can crank, by the way, the color and the gain of it. And we could do this on multiple lights, by the way. We could replicate this on all the light that we have and maybe fake it on more light, but we are fine right there, right now. Well, I think that by seeing the starting image that we got, this has been pretty good. So that's it, guys. Really simple and quick method. Again, if you want to enhance things around even more, you can boost the glow, you can just work in a strongest way with the light rays. You can do whatever you want. This is just the base set to set up whatever you want to do into your main production. Being well structured and creating everything in the proper way will help you a lot. Also for the selection, we could drag things around, hopefully in a better way than this, but I think that it's all pretty well managed and well structured. We got dodge and burning here, OFX here, and everything is working fine. So hope this helped you creating your next structure to fix a messy image as the one we had, and create a really cool image, really working image for your client. And if you're still spending hours around the web searching for the life-changing tutorial, be known that the only thing you need to learn is how to craft a methodical and properly crafted working path. I made 2 color grading masterclasses, one themed for beginner and one for expert colorists. In these 2 masterclasses, I compressed 10 years of on-ground experience into more than 25 hours of video content. If you want to level up your color grading skills, check the link below. Until the next time, be brave and make it better.